In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to use the Forth Armoury template and mandrel to make a copy of the US 69 caliber buckshot cartridge. So to get started, you're going to need paper. I like to use this roll of masking paper. It's a lightweight masking paper you can get at any big box home improvement store. It has the consistency of newsprint, and it's just a plain brown wrapping paper. So to get started, you'll pay out some of your paper and you'll use your template to cut out the paper. So you're going to want a good sharp new razor knife, and keeping your fingers out of the way, you're going to cut the paper using the template. Now in this example, I'm just cutting out one piece of paper, but of course you can fold the paper multiple times and cut out multiple layers at once. So there's our paper that we've produced using our template. So the next step is to form the paper around the mandrel and to complete the cartridge. And to do that, you're going to need a choking board. And so I've made my choking board out of a scrap piece of wood. I've just got a dowel secured in it. I've tied a piece of string to it with another dowel that I can pull tight. And then I've got a little station here for my thread. In this case, I'm using 3-ply linen thread that's similar to what would have been used in period. So to get started, you're going to take your piece of paper that you cut out using the template, and you're going to take your mandrel or former, and you're going to lay it on the paper with the rounded end pointing towards the long end of the trapezoid. You want to leave about a ½ inch of space down here between the end of the mandrel and the edge of the paper. And then we're going to roll it up. And it's useful to eyeball when you're looking straight down. From my point of view here, I can line up the edge of the paper with the edge of the cylinder of the mandrel. And that's how you know you're going to get a good straight roll, when that lines up in your eye with a nice straight line on line. So we're going to then just roll the cartridge. And you can see down in there the nose of the mandrel is back below flush of the end of the paper. And then we're going to take our choking cord and you're going to wrap it one time around the end of the cartridge tube where the nose of the former is. You're going to put your finger in the hollow space of the paper there, and you just pull it tight. And that's going to create this little flower looking thing on the end of your cartridge. And then we're going to take our cord and we're going to tie the end of the cartridge. Now this is a little bit different from expanding ball cartridges in that we're not just going to tie off the end of the cartridge, but we need the extra string to compartmentalize the buckshot. And so according to the ordnance manual, you don't cut the string until you're done with your cartridge. And so we'll demonstrate how that works, how you're able to tie half hitches to compartmentalize the buckshot when you don't have a free end to work with. So you want to wrap it one time around, pull it good and tight, and then 2 half hitches good and tight to seal off the end of the cartridge. And then we're going to cut the free end here because that's not needed. Okay, but we're still going to leave this attached to our spool of thread. So you push that down nice and neat, and there's your end of the cartridge. And I like at this point to put the blunt end back in and just flatten that up a little bit, since this is going to have buckshot in the bottom. Now here's where it gets pretty easy. You see a lot of folks that try to make these and they try to put in each triad of 3 and choke each compartment, and you don't have to do any of that. All you need is 12 buckshot, 0.3 inches in diameter. You need 12, so what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 buckshot. And all you got to do is just put them down the tube. And those will self-arrange into 4 layers of 3. Put your mandrel back in and hold it in your hand like so. So the mandrel is keeping the buckshot in place. And then for each triad, we're going to make a loop like so, and we're going to come down and pull it tight to segment off that compartment. I'm going to make another loop and come down to the next triad of shot. Make it nice and snug. Make another loop. Come down to the next triad of shot and snug it up. And then for the last triad, you're going to make a loop and then loop your loop, just like that. And then we're going to come down to the last triad and snug it up nice and tight. Now we've compartmentalized each triad of buckshot and the cartridge is complete, so we can snip off the end. And by not cutting it until we get to the end, there's really no waste except for the little bit that we had to hang on to tie off the end of the cartridge. So that's why it's done that way. And so as you can see, it's really not finicky at all to make a buckshot cartridge. You know, I've watched a lot of videos on the internet where there's a lot of this going on, where people are trying to tie it and then roll it over and tie it. And if you try to do it with two loose ends, it's really finicky. But if you just form your loops and pull them tight, you can knock that out in seconds. Really easy. So to finish the cartridge, we withdraw the mandrel and we're going to charge it with powder. For the flintlock, it would have been 130 grains of powder, and for the percussion, it would be 110 grains of powder. And the difference is because the flintlock would require some of the powder to be used for priming the pan. So here we have our powder. Down it goes into the cartridge. And then to finish the cartridge, it's just like any other period style cartridge. We're going to pinch the body down until we find the level of the gunpowder, and then crease the sides of the tail. Fold the tail over like so. And then we're going to fold the sides of the tail in towards the middle and crease those. Fold the tail back upon itself like that. And then we're going to fold the tail of the cartridge back along the body, and I like to give it a nice pinch so that it wants to hold its form. So that is a US style 69 caliber buckshot cartridge using the Forth Armoury template and mandrel.